Well, hello there. It's Monday, November 22nd. That's right. Thanksgiving week. We made it. We had some good news Friday. But I got to ask myself, I ask the world, what's going on with Wisconsin? I really have to ask what's going on with Wisconsin. I really do. Why do they have so many pedos? Pedophiles. Why do they have so many pedophiles? This is a topic that shouldn't it should be bipartisan. I think all parties should agree that pedophiles is terrible. Being a pedophile is terrible. Both parties should agree to that. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because we got Rittenhouse. The first person he shot was a pedo. I have this one other story and another story which has a theme, and I gotta ask myself, Wisconsin, why do you have so many pedophiles? So, okay, so you were living under a rock and don't really go on Twitter and avoiding the news at all costs. Police identify a driver they say plowed into a Waukesha Christmas parade, leaving 5 people dead and 48 injured. Authorities in Wisconsin has identified the driver of the red SUV who said intentionally drove his maroon SUV through the barricades into the crowd of people celebrating Waukesha Christmas Parade. I have no clue if I'm saying the city's name correct. Daryl E. Brooks Jr., or the pedo, 39, is believed to have acted alone and is the only suspect in the incident. The police chief, Dan Thomas, said on Monday Brooks faces 5 counts of first-degree intentional homicide with additional charges based on the investigation. Brooks will have his initial appearance in court Tuesday, 4 p.m. CT. The hearings will be available via live stream for the public view. Thomas said the pedo was involved in a domestic disturbance with one other person just prior to driving his SUV through the parade Sunday afternoon. Police are not able to respond to the initial call about the domestic incident because they had to respond to the parade. So quickly after received the call, the chief said the police also stressed that there was no police pursuit leading up to the incident. The city of Waukesha identified the victims as Virginia Sorensen, 79, Leanne Owen, 71, Tamara Duran, 52, Jane Kolich, 51, Wilhelm Haspel, 81. These people didn't need to die that day. This senseless act. And the reason why I'm calling him a pedo, I don't know if you know who Elysia is, but she's a activist. When I say she's an activist, I don't know if she's still part of this group, but she was a counselor at a group to help people that were being sex trafficked or in prostitution or underage trafficking get the help they need. She was their voice to the public to make sure justice is served. This is what she had to say. Tonight at the Christmas parade, mass murder was a child sex trafficker. I'm not going to play this video. He pretty much admits to having a relations with a girl that was 16 at the time. But I gotta ask myself, Rittenhouse shot a pedo. This person is a pedo. And then we have this case. Crystal Kaiser. Prosecutors plan to appeal Crystal Kaiser's defense in the decision to the Supreme Court. Crystal Kaiser, sex trafficking victim accused of killing alleged abuser, wins appeal in Wisconsin. Now, this was several months back. In June 3rd, 2021, appellate court in Wisconsin has ruled that Crystal Kaiser, a sex trafficking victim charged with killing her alleged abuser, may be able to use a state law intended to help trafficking victims accused of crimes. The law is known as the affirmative defense. Will give Kaiser, now 20, a chance to present evidence to the Kenosha judge and possible jury that her actions were a direct result of trafficking that she experienced. If successful, she could be acquitted of some or all the charges against her, rather face the mandatory life sentencing that could break legal ground for trafficking victims accused of crimes. The court's decision, which has been pending for over a year, comes as legislators and judges across the country are reevaluating how unique abuse trafficking victims' experience should be taken into consideration in the legal system. Majority of the state's laws that offer protection to people who can show that a crime they committed, such as prostitution, drug possessions, or fraud, happened because they were being trafficked. But when the crime is in question is a violent offense, anti-trafficking advocates and prosecutors are divided on how much leeway these victims should be offered. In Kenosha, the prosecutor argued that when Kaiser was 17, she planned the 2018 murder of the 34-year-old Randall Philip Bullard III, which is a pedo, in order to steal his BMW. Kaiser said that she was defending herself after Bullard, who has been filming his abuse of her since she was 16, pinned her to the floor when she refused to have intercourse with him. The two sides have been at odds over the meaning of the Wisconsin affirmative defense law, which is somewhat similar to the laws around self-defense. It states that trafficking victims have a legal defense for any offense committed as a direct result of being trafficked. Prosecutor offers that any offense that did not include homicide, even if it did, Kaiser's charge should be lowered to lesser ones, but the appeal of courts agreed with Kaiser's lawyer, who argued any offense did indeed mean any offense. If Kaiser and her attorney can prove to the judge that there's some evidence of her crime was a direct result of her trafficking, then she'll probably go before a jury. If that jury agrees that her charges were the direct results of her victimization, she'll be found not guilty. Kaiser case gained national attention after the Washington Post article showed that Kenosha police and prosecutor knew that Baller, a white man, was abusing Kaiser and other underage black girls before his death. 3 months before Baller's death, a 15-year-old was found fleeing from his home. Actually, she called 911 to say that he drugged her and was going to kill her. The police raided the house and found hundreds of child videos and more than 20 home videos of pedo abusing girls who appeared to the investigation as young as 12 years old. While the investigation unfolded, the pedo remained free. Why? That is my question, is why do these people get to remain free? Why do these scum of the earth remain free while they're under investigation? I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. If you abuse kids, there's no reason that you should be able to get bail. no reason. No reason to get a light sentence. I think this crime should deserve the death penalty, in my opinion, especially when the evidence is stacked against them. If not the death penalty, life imprisonment, especially when it's a repeat offender, especially when there's multiple victims. Bail should be denied. If bail was denied, and if there was stricter punishment, Kyle wouldn't have to use his weapon. That Christmas parade crash would never have happened. And Miss Kaiser, would never have to kill this person, burn his home to the ground, and steal his BMW, because she wouldn't be a victim at that point of time, because he would have been arrested. He would have been behind bars pending a trial. There's some crimes you can't give the benefit of the doubt. I know it's hard to say. When it becomes a predatorial, when it comes to underage, the kids must be safe. I'd rather a person be falsely imprisoned and be freed on a non-guilty verdict and the city or the state pay him for his time than for him to remain on the streets and be able to be bailed and commit more crimes, because these people are sick, they're demented and evil. I could go on how I feel, because it's non-debatable for me. This is a non-debatable topic. Pedos, while they deserve rights, but they should deserve the same rights as being held without bail while the investigation is pending until charges are brought. And once charges are brought, they're still denied bail to where they cannot hurt anybody else. Miss Kaiser went from one hell to another hell. She went from a hell of being a victim into a prison sentence, all because this pedo kidnapped her and treated her like a prostitute to where she couldn't stand it anymore. A victim by a monster and victim by the state. Leave a comment down below what your thoughts. Do you agree with me that pedos should just be sent to jail, refuse bond until the trial, and only when they are found not guilty, then they can leave? Or do you think they should have the same rights as anybody else and be able to bond out? Let me know. I would like to know why you choose the direction you went. Smash the like and subscribe button on all and any platforms, or just the platform that you're currently watching. Most importantly, have yourself a wonderful day, morning, or evening.